Hello and welcome to round 5 of the virtual Spec P71 racing series. I'm your host, Brett Madsen, owner and driver in the Spec P71 racing series in real life here to go through with you guys on this final round. Unfortunately, we did miss last week due to some real life car issues that needed to be sorted out, so we were unable to stream, but we are here today for the final round to get you guys some exciting racing going on here at Spring Mountain Motorsports Park, Charleston Peak Circuit. One of my favorite circuits that we ran last year. In fact, one of my favorite tracks that we've run in these cars overall. It just flows so well with this car. It's a really long track out in the middle of the desert in Pahrump, Nevada. Great little track. Unfortunately, very, very hot during the summer when we went in June, I believe it was last year. But overall, a great time out there. Had a ton of fun. Track was absolutely amazing. The staff there also super nice. Real pleasure to work with them as well on developing this track in the sim. Of course, Nuke Drop Tracks, Tyrone is the creator of the track. Worked with Mike, who works at Spring Mountain Motorsports. And then I provided some of my feedback on various items regarding how the track flowed and the surface feel and everything. But yeah, we can go ahead and get a ride along here now. Let's see if we can oh, and of course, we're going to have a little bit of some technical difficulties because Assetto Corsa just likes to not coincide very well with OBS. So give us just one moment as we load back in and hopefully are able to get you that lap around the track with one of our drivers. Let's see. We'll ride along with Amy. Dilks in the Iron Dames Crown Victoria as we head through turn 1 here. Very fast, flowy right-hand corner. Lots of curbing around this track that you could use and abuse in the Crown Victorias. Getting up on that blue and then all the way over to the right as we venture off into a what I assume is a rain line. That's what we'll go with. Coming into the next sections here. Getting a nice little dirt line going on there. So we head into one of my favorite parts, turn 4, double apex here. As you head back around, got a late apex to that. Use up all the curbing on the outside, stay to the left into the first of the 2 heavy braking zones. Hard on the brakes here, getting it all the way down. Some of these cars can go down the first gear depending on if they're running 327s or 355 gearing. And then you just accelerate on out, or hopefully accelerate on out because these cars are just dead weight. Oh, there we go. Good downshift from Amy there. And then into the nice sweeper here. Using up all that left side tire as we scream around the carousel here. Screaming that right tire all the way around it. To a very fast left-hander section here that you got to late apex it just a bit to get it right. Especially with these cars, so you can carry some more speed out into the very, very cool downhill section that comes up as you head towards the tower. This is one of my favorite parts of this course in real life. It's a kind of similar drop to Laguna Seca's corkscrew, but a little bit more fun, in my opinion. Gets the car real upset as it goes through there, bouncing him, just sending it straight through there into the next hard braking zone, back through with, which is what I believe is one of my favorite sections of this track. If you get this next section just right, it's amazing. It's fantastic. So you're gonna have a right-hander here going into 13 and a quick sharp left back to the left up and over this hill. You got a late apex that more towards where that cone is and use up all the curbing on the right-hand side here and flat out all the way through. When you get that just right, it feels amazing. The car has got carrying all the speed into 16 here. you're going to be still flat out as you go into this, and then hard braking, hoping that you can make it through to 17 here on the right, staying as far to the right as possible on the right and back to the left. And then back onto the front straightaway, and that is a lap around Charleston Peak here. Typical lap times in real life were somewhere around the mid 255s in real life. That's in 100-degree weather. Here today, it is 66 degrees, which I wish that were the case when we were out there. That would have been amazing. So we see Philip Aaron closing in on Amy Dilks here in practice. Oh. And the camera curse begins as we hopped on to Philip's car there, and he immediately spun. We'll switch it over to Sam D, running that 251.545. Fantastic drive there. Drivers doing a great job of getting their laps in here. Not sure we'll have a big turnout this time around. We do know that this track is a paid track, so that does kind of scare away a few of the drivers for this series. But let's take a look and see what the standings really look like here. At the moment, Colin M has the lead in the series, but if he has a second drop here, that is going to put him out of contention, and that's going to leave Sam D and Philip Aaron with the battle for the championship title. And right behind them is going to be Stephen Moore, doing a great job coming back after the initial spin city that was Daytona in round one. So we continue to follow Philip Aaron, one of our championship contenders around the track here. So we head down into 10 here, that super steep complex. Using up all those curbs. One of my favorite parts about this track and about, well, the Crown Victoria in general is just the fact that you could abuse the bejesus out of these curbs. Makes it super fun. As we see Sean Merrick joining us now for the final event. Good to see him on board here. Looking forward to seeing him next week out at Buttonwillow. And we have a new leader in practice here. We have Tyler Heron with that 251.079. He and Sam really vying for the lead. We see Tyler take a nice dirt line through what looks to be turn 2. Heading back onto turn 3. And now it looks like, well, the good thing is the brake markers are not collidable, so we will not be losing any brake markers and upsetting the virtual Spring Mountain staff here with some shenanigans. Thankfully, right now for Tyler Hare, and the race steward Chomsky is looking out the window and not at the screen, so he can get away with this right now. We see Sean Merrick just sitting in the pits currently. Got to get those lap times in, man. Get some practice going so you can lay down those heaters of a lap time in qualifying. Surprising to see Phillip Aaron not laying down the fastest of laps yet. Sticking with P5 currently. Stephen Moore just lays down a 251.363, which I believe is the best for him. Phillip getting a little squirrely out of that corner there as he heads into the S's of turn 6 and turn 7. Getting up on those curbs, screaming around, getting up on those curbs for the carousel in turn 8. I'll follow along with Stephen Moore here, sitting in P2 now. Great little battle between all these drivers here. Stephen Moore with a 251.363. So we have Tyler Harry and Stephen Moore and Sam D all battling it out for that top position right now. Hopefully we see Phillip Aaron get into the mix here. We know he's vying for that championship title in the virtual series here. Good to see in chat that we have some supporters of Steve. Good to see you, Jennifer. Hope you're having a great evening. We see Steven make his way through turn 12 here. Getting a little bit towards the outside of the course there. Using up all the track. Vying for that top position here. See if he could pull something out. See the car bouncing a ball all the way through. Head into 17 and 18, the final 2 quarters of the circuit. Staying nice and tidy to the right there. Back onto the front straightaway. Let's see if he manages to pull off a faster lap time. Unfortunately, down to a 252.467. That is one of the hard parts of this course. It's so long. That 3-minute lap time, it just cooks through your tires. So you basically have about 1 or 2 laps before you really need to go back to the pits and just change out those tires and just do a refresh. When we were out there last year for the actual series event, you had 1 lap before the car would start overheating because of how hot it was. Thankfully, that it will not be the case this evening. 68-degree weather out here at Pahrump, Nevada. Which, once again, I wish that was the case in real life. That would have been a real nice event compared to the 100-plus degrees that we were forced to endure. So we switch back to our leader in practice so far. Seems that he has resorted to just doing some drifting. Thankfully, the race director, Kat, is still not paying attention to the screen. She's looking outside the window, probably looking at some birds or squirrels that are out there. So we are good to send it, I guess. Well, we see We see Tyler go off a bit there, and Sean Merrick also off in the dirt. At some point, Tyler may want to not do that if race director decides to start paying attention. If he interferes with other people's laps, that may not be the best interest for him. So we see Philip Aaron with the heater here, 248.623. That puts him, I believe that puts him 3 seconds ahead of P2 currently in practice. Very nicely done. Good to see him pull that out. We knew that he had it in him, but let's see if he's able to manage that all through the qualifying session as well as the race. So we see Tyler continuing to do his drift mobile stuff. Drivers are just having fun now, I think, with the time winding down. 1 minute left in practice as we head towards qualifying. Tyler Herring getting that thing sideways, making Phil go off into the dirt here a bit. Some chaos happening here in practice. So you see Tyler go off. I think his people needed him because he is way off in the dirt. Switch back to some other drivers here as we take a look at Amy Dilks. Doing a great job, keeping it nice and tidy. Averaging around 3 minute lap times here. Not really sure what Sean Merrick's doing. He seems to just be off in the dirt every few seconds. Just hanging out, watching people race, I guess. Either that or he's trying to figure out his settings, dial some things in. Looks like we have a cut by Sam D. Not sure if he was actually meaning to do that or just having fun at this point. Because we see Sean Merrick just casually parked there. Not really sure what he's doing. Having a good time. Not a care in the world. Parking it. See Tyler Herring coming across the line here to round out practice. See Sam D still on. He might be on a flyer here. Oh, those tires are cooked, my friend. He's pushing way far outside around the carousel there. Still giving it all it's got. Hoping to come across the line as the final driver, I believe, to round out this this lap. Maybe, actually, it looks like Sean Merrick as well. But as soon as Sam crosses the line, I believe that we will be switching over to qualifying. So we hear some stabs at the throttle there, very Ayrton Senna-like. About the only thing that a Crown Victoria could be mentioned in the likeness of Ayrton Senna. It's a good question, Jennifer. So she asks, how many laps to qualify? It's a 10-minute qualifying session, so typically drivers will see, especially here, around 3 laps for qualifying. Potentially 4 if they're fast enough, but more than likely they'll have the out lap and then 2 hot laps to actually get their times in. So we see the drivers switch over to qualifying session now. Looks like Tyler Herron is first out onto the track with Amy Dilks right behind, Stephen Moore right behind them. Love seeing Sam D, one of our drivers, in the chat here. He claims that Philip Aaron takes virtual performance enhancing Pop Tarts. Speaking of Pop Tarts, we are missing Matt Korchek this evening. He decided to apparently bail on us once more. Probably because he does not know this track and he did not know Road Atlanta last week. So I decided to just, not do the thing. I will be sure to give him some crap later for that. Tyler Herron really pushing that car on that outlap. Probably gonna get those tires overcooked as he heads into his actual hot lap. If anything, the smart move here for these drivers would have been to take a little bit of a breather on that first lap. Maybe put in like a 4-minute lap time, and then the next 2 laps, crank them out as fast as you can. But we'll see what Tyler's able to do here. 8 minutes left to go in the session. We head towards turn 13 here. About 5 more corners after turn 13 before we're... Oh, so we see Tyler Herron taking a shortcut. That is noted by race control. We'll see if he continues... if drivers continue to take that line through that section, that may be an infraction. Yes, it does appear that that was an infraction that is showing now in race control. Tyler Herron across the line with a 303. On his outlap. We'll come back to him a little bit later. We'll switch over to Stephen Moore a little further behind now on his first hot lap. we head into turn 6 here. The S's. A little left-hander up and over a hill, down into a little bit of a dip through 7. Upsets the suspension on these stock cars a little bit. 100% agree with you, Jennifer. With a few of the drivers that are notorious for spinning out, not involved today. I think he'll be okay, but you never know. You see Steven get a little sideways on his own there. Really pushing that car hard, looking to get that P1 today. We see him hard on the brakes into the back half of the course now, turn 12. As we head into the very, very large elevation change to the right and left, up and over the crest. As you dive down into the dip to the right, sets the car quite a bit. See Steven make it through there absolutely perfectly. Diving hard into turn 17 here. Very nicely done. So we see Tyler Herron about to cross the line. 252.288. With Stephen Moore with a 250.776. Currently in the lead for qualifying. We head a little further back to Amy Dilks now crossing the line with a 3-minute flat. Philip Aaron with a 249.280. Smoking fast lap there for Philip. A little further back now, looks like we've got Sam D about to cross the line. Let's see if he's got anything for Philip here. And he does with a 249.039. And even further back, still yet to cross the line yet, is going to be Sean Merrick, one of our real-life Spec P71 drivers. Looks like he is really sending it through there. Getting that car all squirreled up. As he makes his way towards the start-finish line, let's see what he manages to put down. Looks like a 302.807. Seems like we had 2 track cuts that lap for Sean, so unfortunately it does not appear that that lap had counted. A little further back, looks like Tyler Herring with that 252.288. Currently sitting in 5th position, I believe. Yes, it looks like that 252.288 actually did not count because of the cuts. So he is currently sitting, I believe, on his outlap at this point. Looking to come across the line here, hopefully with a better lap time. Something to give Sam D, Philip Aaron, Stephen Moore, and Amy Dilks a little bit of a more of a run for their money. As we have minute 15 left in the session. Tyler with a 250.096. Stephen Moore with a 249.430. Both drivers get a little bit faster with their lap times there, but not enough to take on Philip Aaron or Sam D with the 249.039. Key here, however, is going to be whether or not they're going to be able to continue to actually run these lap times during the race. That's going to be the hard part, is to continue pushing these cars as hard as they are. Who's going to be the most consistent? Who's going to be able to keep it clean, especially on that first lap going into turn 1 and turn 2? Actually, turn 2 is the tighter right hand corner. I'm not sure they're going to have enough speed to really make turn 1 an issue. It'll more than likely be turn 2, which is an off camber to the right corner. Looks like Sam D's crossing the line now. The 319.383. Looks like he had a few cuts that lap, so he must have had... Oh, and a collision. So I believe he crashed on that lap, so that may have been why it's the 319, a little bit slower than his previous lap times. As we switch over to Sean Merritt coming across the line with a 252.020, his fastest of the session. Gets him up to 5th place. Gets him a little squirrely there. We'll switch back over here to Tyler Heron and Stephen Moore. Still got enough distance between each other where I don't think they're going to get into each other's way on these hot laps here. See if these drivers can come across the line with something for Philip Aaron and Sam D. Oh, as we see Tyler really pushing hard there, getting sideways going into 17. Poetic move. As they head onto the straightaway here, it definitely looks like that cost him some time, though. 250.377. Stephen Moore with a 248.311. Locking it down. Beautiful drive there. Switch over to Philip Aaron, who unfortunately appears to have biffed it into the final 2 corners there. Leaving it to, let's see, Amy Dilks coming across the line here very shortly. Amy getting it down to a 257.573. Not too shabby. As she crossed the line with a 259. And that rounds out our qualifying session. Stephen Moore with the pole position for race 1 here. Nicely done. Sam D right behind in P2. Philip Aaron with the P3. Tyler Heron, P4. John Merrick, P5. And Amy Dilks, P6. As we get set for our first race here, I have to remember to move my car off the grid because I do not want to be causing inhibitants to our drivers as they make it their way around the track. I'll move the car as soon as the controls are not locked. Smaller grid for this event, as we know, it happens every year. Final event of the year, plus it's a paid track. Most drivers opt out, take this as their drop. But for smaller grids, could potentially make for great racing. As we hear all of the drivers honking their horns, flashing their lights, having a good time. We got 1 minute remaining until the race start. We shall see. These drivers, as they head into turn one, once again, I don't believe turn one's going to be the issue. I think turn two is going to be very interesting as these drivers dive in. Hopefully they manage to keep it clean. As we see 20 seconds coming up on the board here. And 15 seconds now. And now we are down to 10. And the drivers are off. Race has begun. Stephen Moore with the outside line as he heads into one, giving Sam D the advantage here. See if these drivers can keep it nice and clean as we head down into turn two. Hard on the brakes on the outside. Oh, no! I hope I did not create some announcer's curse by saying that all of the drivers that typically cause problems are not in this race. Unfortunate for Stephen Moore. Had the P1, had pole position. Now has to work his way back up towards the front. Let's see if he's able to do it. Sam D waiting for him, as he should. Oh, we see Stephen Moore diving in deep there and getting into Amy. We see Sam D spin it around. My goodness, what a start to this race. We keep an eye on these drivers as they continue to navigate their way around the track. Hopefully, I genuinely hope Stephen Moore is able to make his way back up towards the front. We know he's one of the faster drivers here with that 248. We know he can do it. See if he manages to make his way back up. We take a look at Philip Aaron here with Tyler Herron right behind. And Sean Merrick sitting in third because of all the craziness at the start of this race. Looks like Stephen Moore manages to get by Amy Dilks here under the braking zone. Nicely done as these drivers start to spread out just a little bit. Sure, Steven's got a little bit of motivation to get to the front here, so he's going to be pushing real hard to get back up towards Sean Merrick here. He's got about 5 laps to do it with these. Oh, as we see, Sean Merrick goes off track there a bit. Stephen Moore making his way by now as I clicked to the wrong car. My apologies. Stephen Moore back up to a podium spot now. As we start to look at a little bit further ahead here, we have a battle between Tyler Herron and Philip Aaron going on as we take a look inside here as we ride along. Philip Aaron doing a great job holding him off. Great to see Carrie in chat here. Hope you're doing well. Tyler's doing a great job representing you guys out there in Spokane. We see Philip Aaron go wide there. It's going to cost him some time. Bring Tyler right on his rear bumper. See if he can make a mistake here. We go down into turn 10 complex, turn 10, turn 11. The mini corkscrew, as I like to call it. Hard under in the braking zone here as they head up through the elevation change section of Spring Mountain's Charleston Peak Circuit. Tyler doing a great job sticking with Philip Aaron here. Oh, as we see Tyler get a little crossed up there. Tyler just got to manage to keep it clean here. Philip Aaron, notorious for being very fast, but also making mistakes under pressure. So if he can manages to stay nice and tight on Philip's rear bumper here, he might have something for him. Jennifer says, Steve and I are in Spokane as well. Can't forget about that. I know you guys are all friends of Carrie, I believe. You guys are all pretty much all out there. I know Crazy Cat Racing was a big part of this series last year. Great to see you guys all in chat and supporting your drivers out here for Spokane. So we move further back here, see how Stephen Moore is doing. Looks like he lost a little bit of time. I think the Tyler Heron and Philip Aaron are just both pushing each other so hard that they're gaining a little bit of time on Stephen Moore here. Philip Aaron with that 249 that last lap, and Stephen Moore with the 251. Carrie says that her engine blew up at the last HPD. I'm sorry to hear that, but not surprised that Steve offered to drive home to get the truck and trailer. Steven is a fantastic guy, super nice. Every time I've communicated with him, it's been an absolute pleasure. Every time I've raced with him, it's been an absolute pleasure. He is a clean driver, a fantastic driver, and just a general all-around great person to race with in the virtual series stuff that we do here. And I can't imagine he's any different in real life as well. So we switch back to these drivers up front. Looks like Philip Aaron getting a little bit of distance on Tyler now. Fun fact, Steve waves politely when he passes in real life. I hope it's not the Tommy Milner wave that we saw at the Corvette, but I assume it's just a genuine nice wave and not Tommy Milner's wave that he did to the BMW at the Daytona last week. Totally agree with you, Carrie. I know Tyler has come a long way. He's been a super active part of Two Drink Tuesdays and getting involved with those guys. I think that really has stepped up his game this year for Virtual Spec P71. He's always been up towards the front, really pushing hard. It's great to see him battling it out with Phil. I assume so. Wholesome vibes. Yeah, Steven seems like a very, very wholesome person. So we look a little further back now, looks like Sean Merrick turning on the Jets now. Getting involved with Steven here, a little bit of a battle. And I believe I just heard Sam D go into the dirt a little bit there, a little further back. Or that looks like it might have been Amy Dilks. Amy experiencing all of the tire overheating for these cars at this super long circuit. But still doing a great job out here in the Iron Dames Women Driven by Dreams liveried Crown Victoria. Looks like that last lap, Tyler Herron had a little bit of a faster lap time than Phil. 249.418 versus the 249.709. Let's see if that remains the case. I believe I remember seeing that Amy had a wild week this week. If I remember correctly, Noodle had Noodle is her cat for anyone that doesn't know. But Noodle had gotten out. They ended up finding Noodle, but yeah, she went on an adventure. I think, if I remember correctly. You see Stephen Moore with a 249.343, his fastest lap so far this session. Gets him a little bit of distance to Sean Merrick here. Steven turning on the Jets, hoping to close in that gap between him and Tyler. Jennifer asks, how did you come to choose this car for the series? So this car is actually utilized in our real life racing series. We use it Ford Crown Victorias as a good teaching tool for new drivers. You can pick these cars up super cheap from an auction, and they're old police cars, old taxis, and you take them to the track like pretty much immediately from the auction, and they are super fun, super safe, and great cars to learn in. I've been utilizing my car since 2018, going on 7 years now of track days with that car. Tons of fun, great way to teach new drivers how to approach track days, how to approach racing in Time Attack series, and being that I am so involved in the sim racing community, and one of my day job being that I work at a sim racing company, it just fell right into place that I had to create a accurate to life version of this car for Assetto Corsa, and that's how it came to be for a virtual series. And yeah, it's a ton of fun. Great, a lot of weight to throw around the racetrack, even in the sim. And ironically, everyone laughs that this is one of the more accurate cars to drive in the sim for Assetto Corsa, being that it is a Crown Victoria and not something that a lot of people would consider to want to drive. And I couldn't agree more, Bonnie. Yes, glad to hear Noodle is safe at home again. And I quickly read through the entire post because I knew I was missing part of it. But yeah, she definitely went through some things with Noodle, where she got a phone call from the animal hospital thinking that her cat was involved in a hit and run, but then she went to open the door and happened to see her cat sitting on the porch. So it wasn't her cat that was hit, but I hope the cat that did get was involved in that hit and run is okay, because that is kind of scary. But glad that Noodle is back home and safe. And in the driver chat on Discord, Amy had posted her co-driver is present and a picture of Noodle sitting there on the ledge right next to her while she's sim racing. And speaking of kitties that are involved in the racing series, Chom is lounging on my couch right behind me, potentially meowing. I see her tail wiggling left and right. She knows I'm talking about her. She's getting annoyed by that fact. Aren't you, Chom? There's a meow. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but she definitely gave a good hearty meow. Carrie says, you've been humbling slow drivers and fast cars for a while with P71s for pennies on the dollar. That's the whole idea, is just have fun with as little investment as possible with these cars. They don't take much to be fast, to be perfectly honest. Like, it's a really fun experience. And now that we've got Nitto Tires on board with us for 2025 and Porterfield as the certified brake pad for our series, we've got the handling, we've got the braking under control, and we're working on developing the performance side of things to get us a little bit more horsepower. We've also dropped the minimum weight for this year as well, down from 3,900 to 3,800 pounds. So a little less weight. Try to get these cars a little bit faster, a little bit more of a shock as they go by S2000s and Miatas and Mustangs and more at the track. And shout out to Steven's kitty Herbert. We love a good kitty here. Very I feel like most of the people that are involved in our series have a cat. I know that Sean Merrick also has a cat. I think Sam has a dog. He might have a cat, but we love dogs here too. As we see Philip Aaron cross the line, P1. I guess that's the end of the race. I was completely infatuated with talking about cats. We see Philip Aaron come across P1, Tyler Heron P2, Stephen Moore comes across P3, Sean Merrick with P4, Sam D P5, and Amy Dilks coming across the line P6. Oh yes, of course. How could I forget Salem? We love a good void. Chom, my cat, is a very floofy void. Tyler's cat Salem looks very much like Chom as well. I believe somewhere on his livery he might have his cat. I can't remember. Oh, he's got a goose. He's got more imagery. I think last year he had his kitty on his car. But yeah, we love we are all cat lovers here, and Bonnie Shirazi that you see in chat there also has a very beautiful cat named Suki, very mindful, very demure. Sam D in chat here, apologizing, understeering into Steven. Sam D just taking over for James Pendry this week as the destructor of Stephen Moore. But let's take a look at these championship. We're not going to end the broadcast just yet. Going to take a look at these championship points as soon as this race decides to finish. Everyone's done, so yes, everybody should be good. Let's go ahead and push that to the next. Oh wait, there's race 2. What am I talking about? We still have a whole nother race to go. This is how focused I am this evening. I've been as I mentioned before, the reason why we didn't do a broadcast last week is had some an electrical gremlin to chase down on my Crown Victoria, which was not fun. And then this week, I am working on the Crown Victoria again because I took it to the dyno and it did not make as much horsepower as I was hoping. And we believe that might be partially because of the cam timing. So we may actually have to tear apart the engine again. So, there's that. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So we switch over. It looks like Sam D is going to be our P1 for race 2. And Sean Merrick, P2. Stephen Moore, P3. Tyler Heron, P4. Amy Dilks, P5. Philip Aaron in P6. And us, the broadcast, rounding out in P7. That is immediately just going to get transported to the pits. You're allergic to cats, Carrie? And you're part of the Crazy Cat Racing? What? Who's the sandbagger? The broadcast car? Yes, we're definitely sandbagging as we just teleport to pits. As we see the lights go out here, we have 10 seconds left on the clock until the race begins. Amy giving the headlight flash to Tyler, letting them know she's there. Okay, we teleported to pits. We are safely off the track. As we see the lights are out, racers are off and going. Sean Merrick takes the inside line from Sam D here. Sam D getting a good run though, getting out in front. See if they can keep it clean as they go into turn 2. It looks like Sean. Oh no, not again. Good grief. So we see Stephen Moore get tied up again in some sort of collisions going on here. It seems like this is the P71 curse for Stephen Moore at this point, is to just always get taken out at the beginning of the race. As we switch back further up to Tyler Heron and Sean Merrick. Sam D looking to get as far out in front of Philip Aaron as he possibly can. We know Philip involved in that incident in turn 2. Drops back to 4th place. So at this point, the way the math is crumbling right now, the very, very quick and dirty math that I just did, if Philip Aaron manages to hold on to 4th place and doesn't drop behind Stephen Moore in 5th, he will manage to clinch this championship. Because yes, it does look like Willow Springs was Sam D's lowest score that he had, with a 190 combined score. So that'll be the drop for him. And then it'll appear that Daytona will be Philip Aaron's drop of 193. So Philip Aaron just needs to keep Stephen Moore behind him to clinch this championship. This being said, it looks like Tyler Heron is putting enough pressure on Sam D. If Sam D gets passed up by Tyler Heron here, that is a guaranteed loss of the championship for him. Great three-way battle between these guys going on. Tons of fun to watch. See if we could... oh, we see Sam D go a bit wide there. Looks like they're pulling in to the outside. Oh, getting nice and tight on these drivers here. Great battle going on. Keeping it clean so far. Sam gets spun by Tyler Herron, and it's just backing everybody up. This is going to put... Oh, goodness. This puts Phillip Aaron right back into the mix here. Sean Merrick out in front now. Stephen Moore back into it. Not too far behind. Just 3.5 seconds currently. So we see... Oh, no. See, Sam D. The world is crumbling right now. Sam D officially dropping back to 4th place with Phillip Aaron going by. And I believe that is going to solidify Phillip Aaron's lead in this championship. We see Stephen Moore go by now. All Phillip needs to do now is keep it clean and keep it in front of Sam, and he wins this championship. He does not need the pressure, Tyler. He does not need to chase after Sean, but he just needs to manage to not spin at this point. We're waiting for that Phillip Aaron moment. We've seen it in previous races. We call it out every single time just because we know he needs to be called out for it. He gets pressured into making a mistake. Let's see if he manages just to kind of chill it out a little bit. Keep it in P3 here. Doesn't need to push too hard. So we see Stephen Moore starting to close in now. See Sean Merrick with his fastest lap of the race, a 254.751. Stephen Moore with the fastest of the fastest laps, 249.628. Great to see Steven making his way back up towards the front here. See if he manages to keep on pushing towards the front. As it looks like this battle is heating up once more. I think Sean Merrick is definitely holding up Tyler Herron a little bit here with his lap time. We know Tyler's consistently been faster than Sean here. And that's tightening up the distance between he and Phillip Aaron too. See if Tyler can make this pass, make it clean. Tyler looking towards the outside around the carousel, going through turn 8 here. See if we could ride along with Tyler for this battle going on. As we head into the mini corkscrew, down to the right and back to the left, up and over the crest. See if he gets a good exit going into the next straight and into the braking zone. We see Sean get a little sideways and Phillip going full into the dirt behind. See him make the dive down the inside. So can he make it stick? Looks like he makes it stick. Tyler Herron takes over P1. Looks like Phillip Aaron trying to make work of that as well. Trying to dive in on Sean Merrick. Sean fighting back here. Getting a little sideways behind. Oh, we see Philip go off. Into the wall goes Philip Aaron. Oh, no. Oh, no. All Philip had to do was just keep it clean in this entire race. And now we see Sam D skirt his way by. Taking a look at the points here. I'm not sure how this is actually going to pan out. That could have cost Philip Aaron his championship. We won't know until the end of this race. I can't do the math because I don't know if this is going to count as a drop or not now. So we work our way back up towards the front. See Stephen Moore with the fastest lap of this entire weekend. 248.0. So I hear someone going into the dirt further back. Might have been Sam. Might have been Sam just dipping a tire off there. So we head back up towards the battle going on up front. Head back over to race control, see what I can find here. Yeah, last note that I have is Philip Aaron's crashed into the barrier at 32 miles per hour. Only a Crown Victoria could ever survive a 32 mile per hour crash, let me tell you. That push bar doing work. See if Steven's got anything for Tyler here with 5 minutes left in this race. Just about enough time for 2 laps, perhaps? Absolutely. Would love to see these drivers get a 1-2 finish representing Spokane. What a perfect storybook ending this would be if these two managed to get P1, P2 with their supporters watching. Just got to manage to keep it clean as they head through the elevation changes of Charleston Peak as we see both Steven and Sean get a little bit hairy through there. Steven running consistently faster here, 248.618 versus a 249.397. That was the fastest lap that Tyler's run all the whole race, but not fast enough to keep Steven from closing in. It does look like we are going to have at least one more lap here. That might be just enough time for Steven to close that gap down even further. Looks like he's looking to make the pass here going out to the outside. Can he make it stick? No, he's unable to make it stick. We'll ride along board with Stephen Moore here. See if he's able to manage to make something happen as we head through turn 6, turn 7, the S's. So those tires have got to be real worn at this point. Fighting the reduced grip as they make their way through the carousel. Oh, Steven getting it sideways. Catching it really nicely. Getting a better exit than Tyler here. Looking towards the outside as they head into the mini corkscrew to the right and back to the left. Tyler getting a little out of shape there. Steven lifting off a little bit to stay out of any incidents that Tyler may have caused there if he got a little too sideways. Both drivers doing a great job. Tyler doing everything he can to defend. Steven doing everything he can to attack here. You see Tyler getting a little bit out front, but Tyler goes wide. Tyler goes wide. He dips it through the dirt. That's going to cost him the lead as we see Stephen Moore go by unopposed into the lead. Resurrected from the bottom here after the incident in turn one. Back to the lead after so many incidents have occurred this race. Great job. Great driving by Steve. See if he is just able to keep it nice and clean as we go through lap 6 here. I believe this will be the final lap of the race. Stephen Moore gonna look to lock down this win on this last lap. All he has to do at this point is just keep it clean. So we look a little further back now. It looks like Tyler is in the shooting range of Sean Merrick. Let's see if Sean ends up attacking here for P2. So we see our race go into overtime. So this will be the final lap. Around here at Spring Mountain Motorsports Park, Charleston Peak Circuit. Looks like Stephen Moore checking out. Sean Merrick trying to get into the head of Tyler Herron here with a few headlight flashes. See Tyler getting a little squirrely through the carousel there. Nice and sideways. Tyler digging deep, trying to find every last little bit of grip that car has currently. Doing a great job holding off Sean Merrick. Sean slowly but surely closing in right now, down to a half-second gap. See if he's able to maintain. It looks like Tyler gets a much better jump off the corner here, pulling that gap back out to nearly a full second. See if he manages to make it through one of the toughest sections of this course. Keep it clean. Dials it in, gets it through as they head into the final sector of Charleston Peak. So we switch back to our leader here. What an amazing drive. Going through turn 17, going through 18, final corner, onto the front straightaway. Stephen Moore is your Race 2 winner of the virtual Spec P71 Racing Series, round 5 at Charleston Peak. Fantastic drive as we see Tyler Herron manage to hold it together. Come across P2, Sean Merrick, P3. And Sam D coming across the line after a very chaotic race for both he and Phillip Aaron. Sam D P4, Phillip Aaron looks like he will manage a P5 here. I don't know what this is going to mean for the end of the championship. Between these two drivers, Phillip Aaron and Sam D were the two drivers that were fighting it out. So we see, did he cross the line yet? He has not crossed the line yet. This could not end well for him if he doesn't pull back out in front of Amy Dilks here. Getting a little bit too shenanigan-y there. He crosses the line finally in P5. Amy Dilks looking to finish up her lap here. Great showing from her. stayed out of trouble for the most part. It's great to have her aboard. We see her internet doing some internet-y things there. I promise you, a Crown Victoria does not act like that over some jumps. But great job, great showing from Amy. Great to have her aboard. Great to see that hot pink livery of the Iron Dames, Women Driven by Dreams. Now, the question is, what does the championship look like here? We don't know. I'm going to go ahead and forward to the end of this entire thing now. Let's see if we can get an answer on what the what everything looks like here. Doing some great donuts though. We love donuts. Cop cars are just meant to do donuts. What can I say? But once again, great drive by Stephen Moore. P1, fantastic drive in that race 2 to make his way back up from the rear of the field after the incident. Love to see that. I don't think I could forward to the next session here. I think everyone's just gonna have to leave for us to. Oh, actually, there we go. We have 100% progress. We have an official end to the virtual Spec P71 racing series. Congratulations, and unfortunately I can't switch to his car anymore because he is no longer in the server. But congratulations to Philip Aaron on his first ever victory, championship victory in the virtual Spec P71 racing series. He comes out on top over Sam D by exactly 1 point. 788 points for Philip and 787 for Sam. Thankfully, Philip corrected his little mistake there at the end of race 2, because if Amy had gotten by him at the end of race 2 there, that could have cost him the championship. He got a little too excited doing some donuts going into that into the straightaway, but he managed to cross the line, thankfully. But yes, once again, congratulations to Philip Aaron on his P1 in the championship. Sam D, P2. Stephen Moore, P3. Fantastic work by Stephen, considering he was taking out just about every single freaking race this entire season. He would have placed much higher had he not been involved in so many incidents. And then strong shout out to Tyler Hare in P4, keeping his entire races alive. He did a fantastic job through all the events we had here. Sean Merrick, P5. Lilac Zier, P6. Amy Dilks with a P7. Colin M, P8. Matt Korchek, P9. Tedward, P10. James Pendry, P11. Kevin Woodward, P12. Chase Hudson, P13. Andreas Specht, P14. Ian Brandt, P15. Francis Chan, P16. And Heinrich Firefast Jr., P17. Thank you all for tuning in for all of our broadcasted events this year. That is officially the end of the virtual Spec P71 Racing Series this year. Next year, we will be back, of course, with another series and probably another update to the car. And for that, we thank you for tuning in. We hope that you guys all come out to at least one of the actual Spec P71 Racing Series events. Our next event is at Buttonwillow next weekend at the new circuit that they have finished for us, and it is looking amazing. I am so excited to be there. So many banked corners. It's going to be so much fun in these Crown Victorias to really shoot them around that track. And yeah, we hope that we see you at an event in the future. If not, we'll see you next year for the virtual series, when we hope you join. It's always fun. Thank you again for tuning in. See you guys.